today I'm going to be talking about loose leash walking. Now, loose leash walking is kind of a pain point for many dog owners, and frankly, walks are not all that enjoyable, largely because their dog is pulling on the lead, dragging them around, barking and lunging at other dogs or people, and basically not very engaged with you, their owner, while you're out trying to have this fun dog walking experience with them, because for many people, that's why they got the dog to begin with, to go out and enjoy experiences in the world with them. So today we're going to talk about some general concepts that impact loose leash walking, and then in subsequent videos, we'll be playing some games that you can employ when you're out on a walk with your dog. So to my mind, loose leash walking comes about because of three main concepts or conditions. One, the dog is calm. Two, the dog has value in being close to their owner. And three, the dog is able to disengage from all the things happening around them in their environment. So first, when thinking about a dog that is walking on a loose leash, it is clear that that dog is calm and their arousal bucket is not heavily filled or close to overflowing. Now, if you think about a dog's stress bucket, everything that that dog experiences as a result of the things happening in your life and their life and all the things around them, they all pay into the bucket. Even good things, exciting things, happy, fun things pay into a dog's bucket. And at some point, if you're not actively working on calmness with your dog's bucket will overflow and you'll get barking, lunging, biting, humping, jumping. Even if it's all positive and exciting things happening, eventually this bucket does overflow. So, things in your life that may be paying into your dog's bucket. Your walks. If your walks are particularly stressful, you're putting liquid into the bucket. Going to the dog park can be a very stressful or overly exciting experience. That pays into your dog's bucket. Having visitors in the house. Separation struggles pay into a dog's bucket. Play dates. Your kids having play dates, all sorts of things, which is not to say that we're going to make villains out of any of these things. Life happens. We want our dogs to be part of our lives. It's all by way of saying, be aware of what's happening to your dog across their day, and focusing on calmness for your dog will go a long way towards being able to successfully take them out into the world on a walk. So, how can you grow calmness? Calmness can be grown through games like boundary games, mouse game, airplane feeding, reward nothing, things where you're actively showing your dog and growing them towards stillness and calmness. It can also be developed through passing calming activities, and you can see right here, Tess is actually getting the remainder of her daily food allowance in a lick bowl. And even though it's not necessarily getting her food through an experience with me, it is an experience that's reinforcing for her an activity that promotes calmness, which is licking. And licking actively helps dogs grow and develop calmness, and that is a passive calming activity. You can also grow calmness through active rest, which is time in which they're, in their crate in the car, in their crate in the house, behind a puppy pen, and you're showing them and telling them, I don't want you racing around the house. I don't want you engaging in other things. I want you still and calm. Now, the next component that feeds into loose leash walking is your dog having value in you. And if you think about a dog that is walking loosely on a leash, they're pretty close to their owner, very close to their side. And that's partly because they have value in being right close to their side. This little zone around them has a lot of value for them. And if you think about a dog that is pulling on the leash and struggling to be loose leash walking, they're way out at the end of their leash. The value is all out in the environment, and they don't have very much value in that moment in being close to their owner. You can grow this value that your dog has in you in a number of ways. Playing games with them that promote having value in close proximity to you are a great way to start, and we'll go through some of those in subsequent videos. The other main way to grow your dog's value in you is through something called ditch the bowl. Now, if you think about the way we feed dogs, we pour a bunch of food into a bowl twice or 3 times a day, and then we put the bowl on the floor and the dog eats from the bowl. And if you think about the food that you're putting in the bowl as having value or being like money or currency, every time you put food into that bowl, you're telling your dog, your bowl is really valuable. I'm putting all of your payment for the day into that bowl. But if we can flip that on its head and instead say, I have this essentially allocation of value for the day, your dog's set amount of food that they get for the day, and I'm gonna take part of that daily food allowance and I'm gonna use it for calmness games. And then I'm gonna take part of that food allowance and I'm gonna take it with me on a walk and I'm gonna play proximity games. Or even before I go on the walk, I'm gonna play those proximity games at home. And every time you use your dog's food allowance for games and building concepts like calmness, instead of just throwing it into a bowl and walking away, you are building your dog's innate value in wanting to engage with and be close to you. Finally, disengagement is also critically important to loose leash walking. It means that your dog can see, hear, smell things in the environment around them, notice them, say, yeah, that's kind of cool, but ultimately turn away from them, either mentally or physically or both, and not engage with what's happening in the environment. Being able to disengage comes from, 1, being calm, 2, having value in you, their owner, and 3, not having as much value in the environment. And so disengagement games are all about saying to your dog, yes, I recognize there's value out there, but in reality, the higher value is with me. And so in subsequent videos, we'll be showing different games that really are all about all the fun ways that we can teach our dog it's a really good deal to turn around and come away with me, which is ultimately, if you think about a dog that's on a loose leash,